Straight all day.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is what? The go-getter energy. It moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of wait for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is my current fitness formula. I'm going to share with you all what exactly I do fitness-wise, why I do it, how I do it, so all of you understand this. But before we get into that, let me tell you all, I send out a daily motivation text for free every morning to everybody in my text community. This is a message that is guaranteed to have you sharp, focused, and on point to begin your day. If you want to receive this message, and why would you not, text me at my number, which is 305-384-6894. And every morning when that daily motivation message goes out, because you're a member of my text community, you'll be receiving that text, and you can actually respond to one of those messages, because I do take time every day to go through and respond to my text. Secondly, workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where you can get coached by me, only place you can be coached by me on your mindset, strategy, systems, and execution and accountability for your business and your personal life. We don't draw a line between the two. Things that you're doing in business are going to affect what you're doing personally. Things you're doing personally will affect what you're doing in business. All of that is happening at workonyourgameuniversity.com. So if you're not a member of the university yet, you can fix that by just going to workonyourgameuniversity.com right now. Join the university. You can get direct access to me and my coaching programs. We got all kinds of programs going on there at the university. Some things that are not advertised. Only way you will know about them is we have to know you. So the only way that we can know you is you get on a call with us, so with me or somebody on my team, by going to workonyourgameuniversity.com. So even if whatever you might know about is not for you, we may have something that is for you, but we only offer those things to people who we know. So you got to be on the inside. How many times have I told y'all? You got to know the right people. You got to be in the room. The collaboration economy. I told you all of this stuff. You got to go over to workonyourgameuniversity.com so we can help you get you to where you want to go. Because as I said, we got programs going on that are not even advertised. So the links to both of those, the number and the university, are down below in the description. Let's get into this topic. Now, I like to talk about something like this, my current fitness formula. I talk about this kind of stuff every once in a while here on this show so that you all know what formula and processes I'm working with. And maybe some of this will be useful for you moving forward. Even if you do not directly adopt what I do, maybe some of the reasons why I do it can help you with your own processes. So just not only what I'm doing, but why I'm doing it. And by the way, in Work on Your Game University, as I just told you, we don't focus just on business. It's not just business stuff. It's also your personal stuff, your personal development, your physical development, your body, your nutrition, your mind, all of that stuff. So the university can and will help you with all of this, all of these things that I'm talking about here. So now let's get into the topic, or get into the points. We already got into the topic. Number one, let's talk about workouts. And today we are talking again my current fitness formula. When it comes to workouts, I work out 6 days a week. Usually Sundays I'll do some light stuff. I'll tell you exactly what I do on Sundays, but usually the 6 days a week, my workouts consist of running. I like to run outside unless it's crazy cold or it's raining some ridiculous way. Then I usually run outside. But if it's crazy cold or raining, crazy cold to me is like I can run it when it's 50 something. But it's under 50, then I'm probably going to run indoors. I'll probably hit the treadmill. I'll say under 55. 55 and up, I'll be outside. And I live in Miami, so it's usually 55 and up. But it's under 55, I'm on the treadmill. But I run 3 times a week, usually anywhere between 6 and 7.5 miles, my 3 runs per week. And the 10K is 6.25 miles. I like to run 10K races. I run about 3 or 4 of those per year. And I usually win. I usually come in the top 3, in my age group in those races. That's 3 days a week. Another 3 days a week, I go to the boxing gym. I have a boxing trainer. I would do 3 workouts in the boxing gym per week. And as far as my walking, that's just tracked by the phone and wearables, my Apple Watch. I walk somewhere between 11 and 12,000 steps per day. That's according to the tracking over the last year that is shown in the health app in the iPhone, which all of you should be able to see. If you have an iPhone, it's tracking your steps, and most of us have our phones with us all the times. So that naturally happens between the workouts and taking walks. I actually take a walk every day in the evening. I often will take a walk in the morning as well. Usually both with my child, and sometimes I'll even take a walk in the afternoon. And what I do on Sundays, and I also do this 3 other days a week, so 4 days a week I do this, a series of corrective and preventative exercises. Is basically for my knees, just some stuff to protect the knee joint, because the knee is not a muscle, it's a joint where muscles and bones and all these things meet in one place. And I'll do a series of corrective and preventative exercises 4 times a week for my knees, and it doesn't take a long time to do. These exercises literally take 4 minutes to complete, literally 4 minutes for me to do these exercises. So I'll do 4 minutes worth of that on, let's just say on Sunday. I'll do 4 minutes of that. I don't do anything else on Sunday, except I do use my kettlebell. I got an 80-pound kettlebell that I have here at home, and I use that 3 times a week, those same 3 days or 4 days, and I'll do probably about 20 kettlebell swings on that 80-pound kettlebell, and that's it. That's all I do. And I got all of this, the way I simplify my workouts, because my boxing workouts are probably the longest ones. Those usually go an hour, and that's only because I have a boxing trainer, and the trainer says, all right, these is how much the sessions are, and they're an hour. All right, each session is an hour. It's the only reason it's an hour. My runs, when I run that distance, that 6 to 7.5 miles, takes me somewhere between 40 and close to maybe 60 minutes on a 7.5 mile run. Take about 60 minutes, so 40 to 60 minutes for that run. Boxing workouts about an hour, and I already told you how long it is for the things for my knees. That's all I do workout-wise. I don't do anything else. I do not, as of today, I do not do any weightlifting. So I don't do any squats. I don't do any deadlifting. I don't do any bench pressing. I don't do. I sometimes will do pull-ups. There was a time where before my boxing workouts, I would do a bunch of pull-ups. I stopped doing the pull-ups as much because I really didn't need them, and it was draining my energy before my boxing workouts. So I haven't really been doing that much anymore. And what else? As far as workouts, that's pretty much it. That's all I do workout-wise. So I don't feel like this is a lot. I don't know. Maybe it is a lot, but I don't feel like it's a lot. I don't feel like I'm doing a ton workout-wise. That's what I do as far as my workouts in the gym and things like that now. And I'm still in pro athlete shape, and that's one of my personal principles. I got to stay in pro athlete shape. And the sport that I really compete in right now is the running, and running those 10Ks, which is 3 or 4 races per year. And then boxing, we'll get in the gym and do some sparring and stuff like that. But I'm far from being a professional boxer. But that's it. Moving on to point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is my current fitness formula. Number 2 is nutrition. What am I putting in my body? I do not call this a diet. We'll just call it a lifestyle, because diets end. A diet there's a start point and an end point. I don't have a start point and end point for what I'm doing with my body. Now I may change things, but I'm not doing it like I'm gonna do this for 6 weeks and then it's over. This is a normal lifestyle, what I put in my body. So you should look at the same things with your body the same way. So as far as what I put in my body, this is pretty simple as well, I think. So every day I drink a protein shake that is a mix of pea protein, that's peas, the little green vegetables, this shaped like a circle, pea protein, banana, almond milk, organic peanut butter, and ice. That's what's in my protein shake. I'm just making sure I got everything. Yeah, that's all that goes in my protein shake. I prepare it in the evenings, and then I blend it and drink it the following morning. I also have AG1 by Athletic Greens, which is a sponsor of the Work on Your Game Masterclass. So if you haven't gotten your AG1 from Athletic Greens, go to athleticgreens.com/workonyourgame. That's where you can get your first shipment. You also can get a free year of D3, the D3 vitamin, and also 5 travel packs of AG1. I have that every day, which is just 8 ounces of water and 1 scoop of the AG1. And you just scoop it into the shaker, the plastic bottle that they give you when you get your first shipment. They'll give you the bottle. All you do is put the scoop in there, 8 ounces of water, shake it up, and drink it. That's it. And there's no aftertaste, so I have that every single day. Those are the only things that I drink that are not water. Those 2 things, the protein shake and the AG1. Everything else is water. So I do 6 liters minimum of water. If you're watching on video, you can see my water bottle right here. This is a glass water bottle, because if any of you drinks water out of a plastic bottle, you can kind of taste a little bit of the plastic. Plastic disintegrates when water is in it. So you're kind of ingesting a certain amount of plastic anytime you drink it from a plastic bottle. So a glass bottle is better, and these are reusable. So when I finish this water, I can just refill it with more water. And I do a minimum of 6 liters a day, but I've really been pushing it up to 7 or 8 liters, really. So the minimum requirement, the minimum recommended amount, we'll say, of water every single day is half of your body weight in ounces. So I weigh about 180 pounds, give or take, I haven't weighed myself in a long time. So half of that would be 90 ounces a day, but I drink a lot more than that. 1 liter is 33.8 ounces, and 6 of those comes out to 202.8 ounces of water. So I'm already way over my body weight in ounces just with that 6, but I'm usually doing 8 of those a day. So we do that 33.8. I'm doing at least 7. If I do 7 and I don't get to 8, then I sometimes feel disappointed. But if I do 7, that's 236 ounces a day. And then if we do 8, that comes up to 270 ounces a day. Now I front load that. Meaning I drink that water. I drink most of my water before like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So before 3 p.m., I've gotten all 8 ounces in. Why? Because if you drink a whole bunch of water later in the day, then you're gonna be waking up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom. So I make sure I get that water in, so I'm not waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. So that's, again, 6 to 8 ounces of water, liters of water every single day. And I also know how many like gulps of water it is to get this whole bottle in. So even if I don't have a bottle with me, let's say I'm at the airport, let's say I'm walking through the lobby of my building, there's a water fountain there. I know how much water I need to drink from that water fountain to equal a liter of water. So you should pay attention to that when you're drinking out of your bottle. How many gulps of water, how many times are you swallowing to get that whole bottle? Do the same thing with the water fountain. And there you can get that even if you don't have a bottle with you. I eat 2 meals a day. Lunch and dinner. I do not eat breakfast as a meal. I have my protein shake and my fruit in the morning before I go do my workouts. I eat 2 bananas before I go work out, and that's it. And before boxing, I'll have an apple as well, and I have an apple after boxing as well. So I'll just put those in my gym bag with me. But I eat 2 meals a day, lunch and dinner. I get those both delivered from a meal delivery service that is South Florida based. It is called Health Rush. They don't ship outside of South Florida. They don't do shipping. They bring it to your doorstep with their delivery drivers. So I've had a few people ask me, do those guys, the people you get your meals from, do they ship outside of South Florida? They do not, as for now. And I have some friends who have run meal service companies, and they said shipping, when you start shipping around the country, that could be the death of your business. So they probably are not going to start shipping. They can keep it fresh and keep it simpler if they just deliver South Florida. So if you don't live in South Florida, you can't use Health Rush, but you can find a company in your area. With Health Rush, they deliver in Broward County, Palm Beach County, and Miami-Dade County. If you're from the area and you know where those areas are. My meals are plant-based. I am not vegan. I will eat cheese. I will eat meat occasionally. So I'm not 100% vegan, but I guess what you call it now is plant-based. I was at a marketing conference, and this guy, he ran this plant-based company. He was talking about that yeah, you call it plant-based, right? It's not vegan. You call it plant-based. If you eat mostly non-meat stuff, then that's the word for it. So that's my meals. I have 5 ounces of raw spinach. I get that straight from Whole Foods. That's organic, triple washed spinach. I found there are a lot of stores like Trader Joe's, they sell spinach, but it's not triple washed. And then when you eat it, you can taste the dirt. So I don't like that. I like triple washed. I get that from Whole Foods, those bags. A 5-ounce bag of raw spinach is $3 from Whole Foods. So if you could spend $6 on some popcorn at the movie theater, you can spend $3 on some spinach. I eat that raw, straight out the bag. Maybe everybody doesn't like that taste, but you can make it into a salad, whatever you like to do. My vices are candy and potato chips. I eat candy and chips. Those are my vices. I don't really like ice cream. I do like Rita's water ice, but I haven't had that in a long time. I haven't actually been up to Rita's to buy some because it's a little bit of a drive from where I live, and is in North Miami Beach. But anyway, I eat candy, a good amount of candy. I eat potato chips. I got some Sour Patch Kids Peach right here. Sour Patch Kids Peach. They got strawberry ones too, so I like those. Twizzlers, Skittles, things like that. Those are my vices. So some people drink alcohol, some people smoke, some people take illicit drugs. I eat candy. All right, that's my vice. Candy and chips. I'll have sandwiches for snacks because my meals that come with Health Rush, they usually put some little snacks in these small containers with maybe some deli meat. I'll get some bread from Trader Joe's. I'll toast that bread and I'll make a little sandwich out of it, and I'll have that in the middle of the day because I do burn a lot of calories every day. And each day I probably consume 3 or 4 bananas, 2 or 3 apples, and a mandarin or a peach or a plum, whatever's in season, as far as what I'm putting in my body. That's pretty much everything that I put in my body. Then moving on to point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is my current fitness formula, what I'm doing with my body, what I'm putting in my body. Let's talk recovery. This is the third point. I go to the jacuzzi 3 times a week, usually after my runs, when I have time for it. I don't always have time to go to the jacuzzi because sometimes my first call of the day is at a certain time, and based on what time I finish my run and finish doing my recovery, which is I put ice on my legs, my calves, my knees, and my hamstrings, and also my feet. So by the time I get done all of that, if I have enough time, I'll go to the jacuzzi. If I don't, then I just go straight to shower, get dressed, and get to work. But the jacuzzi 3 times a week at the most when I have time for it. And sometimes I gotta overlook the fact the water is not as hot as it needs to be, so the water temperature fluctuates in the jacuzzi. I don't know why. Well, one reason I know why is some of the neighbors complained that the water was too hot, which makes no sense. How can a jacuzzi be too hot? And it was like ice being too cold. But anyway, after I run, I put my feet in a bucket of ice with water, ice my calves, my knees, and my hamstrings, and I do that for 15 minutes with ice wraps that I bought off of Amazon. I foam roll after every run. I use a foam roller and roll out my muscles. That basically gets the knots and the tight spots out of your muscles. So any of you ever heard of or had a deep tissue massage? A foam roller is a way of kind of giving yourself your own deep tissue massage, and it doesn't hurt as much if you do it all the time. Now, if you only do it every once in a while, then it's going to hurt a lot. But if you do it all the time, then it stops hurting as much because your muscles are already loose, and you keep them loose by continuing to do it. I do yoga for 5 to 10 minutes every single day. Let's just get myself loose and stay limber. 5 to 10 minutes of yoga every single day. When I travel, I even bring my yoga mat with me in my luggage. I bring a yoga mat with me, so I can do that 5 or 10 minutes of yoga every single day. I use a stretching strap, and I stretch my joints and legs out 3 times a week, around the same times that I do the corrective exercises for my knees. And I aim for 8.5 hours of sleep, but I've been getting less. I've been getting about 7 hours a night with a young child right now. So that's pretty much what I'm doing when it comes to recovery. So I basically gave y'all right here, this is exactly what I'm doing with my body right now. So hopefully this is something that all of you can maybe borrow something from this, use something from this that you can apply to your own life. Let me recap it real quick, but I like to do this every few months or so just to remind you all what I'm doing, why I do it, and how I do it. But there's really nothing I need to add to any of this. So this is my current fitness formula. Number 1, my workouts, 3 runs a week, 6 to 7.5 miles. I run 10Ks 3 or 4 times a year. I go to boxing gym 3 times a week with a trainer. I'm getting 11 to 12,000 steps in every single day. That's combined with the walks that I take outside. That's how I end up getting at that number. I do 4 minutes of corrective exercises for my knees every 4 times a week, and I have an 80-pound kettlebell that I use 4 times a week as well. Nutrition, again, this is not a diet, this is nutrition. I have a protein shake every day. I take my AG1 by Athletic Greens every day. Then I'm taking 6 to 8 liters of water every single day, which is way over my body weight in ounces, which is what I like. 2 meals a day, plant-based from Health Rush, a meal delivery service down here. My vice is candy and potato chips. I also add in 5 ounces of raw spinach every day, and I'm taking in 3 to 4 bananas, 2 to 3 apples, and mandarin every single day. Then recovery, I get in the jacuzzi 3 times a week when I have time for it. Every time I run, which is 3 times a week, I ice my feet, my calves, my knees, and my hamstrings for 15 minutes. I do a foam roll after every run, 5 to 10 minutes of yoga a day. 3 times a week, I'm using my stretching strap, and I aim for 8.5 hours of sleep, but it's been less, about 7 hours a night with a young child. All that said, text me. Get my daily motivation straight to your phone every morning. My number is 305-384-6894. Every day to your phone for free. And work on your game, university.com. That's the place where you can work with me directly, get coached by me, get access to all of our frameworks around mindset, strategy, systems, and execution. Work on your game. Dre all day.